right, joining us now with more reaction, he is the executive vice president of the Trump Organization. Eric Trump is with us. Eric, by the way, I know he has a sore throat, but he still sounds great. First, I'm sorry for what you and your family are all going through. I'm sure this is painful. I want to read a little something that your father put out. He put it out on Truth Social, and he said, his statement, "This is political persecution and election interference at the highest level in history. From the time I came down that golden escalator at Trump Tower, even before I was sworn in as your president, the radical left Democrats, the enemy of hardworking men and women in this country, have been engaged in a witch hunt to destroy the Make America Great Again movement." Now, you remember Russia, 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 the Mueller hoax, Ukraine, 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 the impeachment hoax 1, impeachment hoax 2, the illegal, unconstitutional Mar-a-Lago raid. The Democrats have lied, cheated, stolen, in their obsession with trying to quote Alan Dershowitz's book, get Trump. But now they've done the unthinkable, indicting a completely innocent person in a blatant election interference. Never before in our nation's history has this been done. The Democrats have cheated countless times over the decades, spying on my campaign, weaponizing our justice system to punish a political opponent who just so happens to be a president of the United States and by far the leading Republican candidate for president. This has never happened before. Manhattan DA Alvin Bragg, handpicked and funded by George Soros, is a disgrace. Rather than stopping the unprecedented crime wave taking over New York City, he is doing Joe Biden's dirty work, ignoring the murders, the burglaries, the assaults that he should be focused on. And this is now how Bragg spends his time. He says he believes this witch hunt will backfire massively on Joe Biden. The American people realize exactly what the radical left Democrats are doing here. Well, there's a lot there. First, your initial reaction and your reaction to your father's statement on this, Eric.
Well, spot on, but my father's only crime was winning the 2016 election, Sean. That's all it was. And you know, it's funny, the professor wrote a great book, but I live that book every single day. From the time my father went down that escalator, we got subpoena after subpoena. We would have people like Alvin Bragg and Letitia James and so many others go out and campaign on the promise to take down a person, not knowing anything about them, not knowing anything about the family. You have Letitia James who's out there, I'm going to go after his family. I'm going to sue the hell out of the man. I mean, these people are evil. They're wicked. And it's why people have lost trust in the system of the United States of America. This is third world tactics. Now, you have Hunter Biden that has, cracked pictures on his laptop. You have Bill Clinton, who was paying Paula Jones $850,000. You have Bill Clinton, who was diddling interns in the White House in the Oval Office. You have Hillary Clinton, who was deleting 33,000 emails while under congressional subpoena. And no one says a damn thing about any of those people. But when my father is leading by 35% in the polls, and they know he's going to be the guy that Joe Biden will ultimately, or whoever the Democrat is going to be, will ultimately run against, guess who they go after right up against the statute of limitations, or actually probably a couple of years after a statute of limitations, as a professor said, expired. They go after Donald Trump. They will do anything to take the man out of the race. They will do anything that they can to imprison the man. They will do anything they can to harass his family, to imprison all of us. They've showed their cards time and time again. Again, Sean, we didn't get so much as a speeding ticket before my father went into office. And this is how they treat us every single day. And this is a city, I spent a lot of time in New York, that is falling apart. I went into literally CVS the other day, and you can't buy Tylenol because it's locked behind these glass counters because there's so much theft and there's so much looting, there's so much homelessness and crime, but yet their attention is going after Donald Trump. Little girls are getting shot in the middle of Times Square. And you know what they're doing? They're going after Donald Trump. Give me a break.
You know, I know this is a lot on your family. By the way, of the 34 alleged charges that they're reporting, others are reporting, I got to imagine jaywalking and spitting on the sidewalk, definitely the top two. How you get to that number. You know, the scary part of all of this, Eric, is when you look at the long list and you look at Russia, you look at Ukraine, the impeachment, you look at the second impeachment, you look at every single thing that they have tried to destroy your father. And I asked your father in the interview that I had with him that aired Monday, first question I asked him, does all of this help you or hurt you? Now, after the Mar-a-Lago raid, your father's poll numbers went up. They did not go down. What do you imagine the American people are thinking in regards to this. You know, we take what is called a non-disclosure agreement. There's probably 10,000 of them across the country daily. A nuisance lawsuit that is paid because you don't want to spend years fighting in a court, and it's taking too much time and too much negative press. It happens all the time. So what do you take out of all of that, and where's this going to end? Does this help or hurt your dad, in your view, based on past precedent?
Americans are so smart, Sean. I've seen this over the last 6 years. I've been on the campaign trail. They're so smart. And I have to say, my father's the toughest person I've ever met before. I was speaking to him right before the show, and he's a rock. He's a fighter. He's a rock. He'll fight this all the way, and we will absolutely win it. It's no question about it. But Americans see people like, Soros paying $1 million to get Alvin Bragg elected, and then this guy's going out and doing this guy's dirty work. People get it. You have women, again, who are getting thrown in front of subway trains in New York. You have homelessness that's rampant. You have crime that's rampant. People don't care about this issue. They know exactly what this is. Again, these people campaigned on video, saying that they were going to do this as soon as they got elected. Alvin Bragg brags about when he was in the Attorney General's office that he went after my father 100 times. He's so proud of that. That was their calling card. This was their mission. This is what they promised their donors. This is what they promised Soros that they would do. It's why they received the big checks. And it's exactly why the American people have lost total faith in the system, Sean. People are sick and tired of it. They see the weaponization of politics and of the justice system. We've seen it with the FBI. We've seen it with the DOJ. We've seen it time and time again. At some point, the guy deserves a pass.
Well, Hillary Clinton got a pass. Hillary Clinton, of course, 33,000 deleted emails. No prosecutor would ever prosecute, James Comey infamously said. Then, of course, the dirty dossier that was used by the FBI in the 2016 election, unverifiable because it was all BS, but yet they signed 4 FISA warrants, 3 by Jim Comey himself. That spied on the Trump campaign, the Trump presidency. Then you move to 2016, and what do we learn? We learned that, in fact, that the FBI that had Hunter Biden's laptop since 2016, that very same FBI that could have verified that laptop, well, FBI agents, we found out in the weeks and months leading up to the 2020 presidential election, were meeting weekly with big tech, warning them that they may be victims of a misinformation campaign, and it may be about Joe Biden, and it may be about Hunter Biden. Again, interference. This is a whole new level. But again, Eric, my apologies. You and your family have been through a lot. This, to me, is a dual justice system. This, to me, is unequal justice under the law. This is not equal application of our laws. This guy won't even charge murderers and rapists and arsonists and everything else. He sends every felony to a misdemeanor. In the case of your father, he just makes up felonies. Unbelievable.
And Sean, remember one other thing.
Yeah.
He's been working on this for 6 years. This started when he copied a congressional subpoena because they couldn't even come up with their own. They looked through 11 million documents on my father, on our company. They couldn't find a single thing. And in the final hours, this is what they do?
Yeah.
It's so desperate.
By the way, I bet you Hunter Biden's watching tonight. And I'll tell you this, that if you, Eric Trump, did what Hunter Biden has done in his life, I guarantee you that the FBI had that information since 2019. You would be wearing an orange jumpsuit tonight.
I'd be absolutely in jail. No question about it.
You wouldn't look good in it, I can tell you. But anyway, seriously, Eric, thank you for being with us. We appreciate it.